Alright, hey there viewers. So, any of you guys ever done a floor harness on a vehicle before? Yeah, me neither. This is going to be my first time. So we got a bunch of warning lights on the dash. There's no communication to a couple of things, and we suspect it's a broken communication wire on the floor harness. So there's no parking sensors or nothing either. You got all the warning lights on the dash. There's that thing crossed out. And yeah, a lot of safety systems aren't working. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to have to figure out what I got to remove. I'm assuming I got to remove all the front seats, back seats, center console, carpeting, anything that I can get access to the floor harness. And then I'm going to grab the new floor harness and lay it out and see how it all routes. So that's how I'm going to figure this out. So anyways, I'll do a little bit of here and there and then show you what I've done and then see where, the wire goes to, and yeah, see if I can make a video out of this. So let's get started. Okay, so it's been half an hour. I got another half an hour of work left before my shift is over. So I just want to bring you back and see, where we're at right now. So I got the front seats out, both front seats. All the little trim pieces are just on the dash. I got the bolt for the back seat because I removed the back seat. Oh, and if you want to know, here's your vent for the rear, the battery back here for your hybrid system. I'm still not sure if I have to remove the entire hybrid system or the EV battery on this thing because all the harnesses go underneath it. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But other than that, I think I'm going to leave the center console for last. Then I want to remove the carpet. I might have to remove all the the plastic trim pieces along the side, maybe the rear panels back there. I think I have to go underneath. I don't know if I have to deal with high voltage cables yet, or I would have to disconnect the high voltage system here. But I'm going to leave that for later. When I cross that bridge, I will disable the high voltage system before I do anything with the high voltage system. Other than that, I think the floor harness goes to the fuel pump down here. And then I think there's some wires that go underneath the car to the electronic parking brake, ABSs, and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'll bring you update you once I start removing more stuff and see where we're at. But I'm only half an hour in, and I have only removed the seats, maybe the rear cargo tray and stuff, and that's about it. All right, so everything's out. These were just all clipped in. They're pretty easy to remove. But if I were you, if you're trying to look for a broken wire in this bunch of harnesses, I just forget about it. Just replace the whole entire floor harness. But now everything here is exposed. You got all the harnesses and everything. Before I remove the harness, I'm gonna lay out the harness in the car and disconnect individual ones and plug those ones in, or put the grounds in. Rather than completely removing everything and then figuring out where all the harness and everything goes. One thing, I'm definitely gonna have to remove this battery pack because the harness goes underneath. And I actually thought this carpet was two pieces, right? Because it separates from the front part of the carpet, but it's underneath the center console. So I think there's a part of the carpet that goes over it, and then it's bolted down. So I can't remove this back carpet without removing the center console. That's the only thing. All these side pillars, they're just clipped in. Like there's hardly any bolts I had to remove. The only bolts I had to remove are like the seats, that little frame in the back, the seat belt buckles, and yeah, everything is just clipped in. I mean, everything is kind of, I don't want to say like cheaply put together, but everything is just simple to be able to remove. That's yeah. But anyways, all the trim pieces I put kind of like up on the dash. As you can see, there are actually things that go through the floor, right? And then there's more harnesses underneath the front carpet. You see all the harness that goes over here, up into the sides. There's a sub back there. There's some kind of module. I'm not too sure. Yeah, and then there's more wirings that go underneath the battery pack here. So yeah. Anyways, half an hour is over, and then yeah, I'm pretty much off work now, so I'll finish this tomorrow morning. see what else I have to remove, but I'm definitely gonna have to remove the center console. I'm gonna see how far up the harness goes up into the dash, or if I have to remove the dash itself. So yeah, anyways, if you're a Honda tech, you know, and you're watching this video, don't be afraid of this. This is actually well, it doesn't pay very good for warranty, but you know, just to give you an idea of what you're dealing with. Yeah, anyways, see you in the morning. Right, good morning everybody. It's the next day. I got my coffee going. So I just came in, just grabbed coffee. That's about it. Maybe take a look around and see what things are looking like. I took out these side trim pieces to see where that harness, the rest of the harness goes. So it goes along the side here. I don't think anything goes that way. I think they just go up into the dash. So, but I'm still going to remove the center console, just so I can remove this carpet and just give me a full picture of what I'm looking at. But yeah, just to show you, the harness connects to here, and then there's this big fat wire that goes up behind the dash. Same thing on the opposite side too. Also does the same thing, as you can see right there. Goes up the A pillar and then up behind the dash. So that's what I got to remove. So I'm looking up the shop manual on how to remove the center console, but whoever wrote these shop manuals either getting really lazy, because all it is just let me show you. They only give you images, right? They don't explain, oh, remove this, remove that. They just give you images, arrows, and then torque specs. So you don't say remove this first, remove that. So I don't know. Is the people who are writing our shop manuals getting kind of lazy? And they just put the images up on there for us to figure it out ourselves. All right, so took a little bit, but I figured out how to remove the center console with just the pictures on shop manual, right? But I started with the back cover, because I know this back cover is only clipped in and has the 2 USB ports. You can see all the wires that are right here, right? And then there's the 2 bolts on each side. Now you got I already removed them, so you got a bolt there, and then you got another bolt on this side. Yeah, as you can see. And then you remove the little flap. I put all the bolts and everything, but you remove that. There's a bolt right in the middle of the cup holder. And then you come over here, you disconnect a whole bunch of wires. It goes through like your electronic parking brake and a bunch of switches, your wireless charger, and all that kind of stuff. So you disconnect all that. You can remove the bezel where the shifter is without removing the actual shifter itself. You can just like rotate it and then it comes out of the hole. I put everything behind the car, so if you're wondering where they are, I put it behind the car underneath. So I'm not, because people have to still drive in and out of their bays. I try to keep everything together. So other than that, I think this center console is ready to come out, because I think it's just clipped in back here, but you can see it's already starting to separate. So I can just pull this whole center console out. And then, are there any more harnesses underneath this carpet on this side? Can't see. I'll get there. But yeah, I think, I don't know if that part of the harness is part of the floor harness, but we'll see. It goes up into the dash behind there. So since I got the center console out after disconnecting all the connectors, like back here, right? I guess this is the SRS unit. They usually stick it in the middle of the car. And then all the wiring harnesses for the front part is all disconnected here, as you can see. Oh, is it not bright enough? There we go. Camera phone light isn't. So you got all the harnesses in front, but I think that can stay. That's not part of the floor harness, I don't think. You can see like all the harnesses go up into the dash over there. And then this one here, which is not part of the floor harness, because this is part of this thing here. Actually disconnects from the actual floor harness that goes down here and then along the side here, and then also on the other side that runs along the bottom and then goes along to the side to the rest of the car over that way. So once I unclip this and then remove this ground, I can actually remove the back part of this carpet, and then there should be a couple holes underneath the floor here. So with the back carpet out, I'm just seeing if I need to remove this front carpet, but it doesn't look like that harness goes anywhere underneath it. So I'm pretty sure I can leave the carpet in, because if I have to remove this front carpet, I got to remove more stuff in the center console. But I think all it is now is these wires just go up in behind the dash. And yeah, so I'm gonna see, the next thing I want to do is start disconnecting these connectors and then see how far this harness goes up in the dash. Same thing on the opposite side over there. And then if that's all that is, then I can grab my new harnesses and then start laying it out in the car. But there are holes here, and then there's a hole over there. There's also the fuel pump. I might have to move that EV battery, because the harness goes underneath it and it also goes down into a hole. As you can see, there's another hole in the middle of the car. So yeah, did you know that that hybrid battery, it's like a floating hybrid battery. You can barely, it's floating. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just floating because it just mounts on this top bracket here, and it's just bolted in. So yeah, floating EV battery. So I disconnected the harness. It only goes up to like halfway on the dash, so I was able to just disconnect it. This side's good, and there's all these other connectors I still got to connect. On the other side, let me go over to the other side. All right, so on this side, I was able to just remove this cover here. That would be your switch over here, right? And that harness just goes up to here, and then it just branches out to your fuse box, and then some other connectors here, and that's that should be it. So yeah, not too bad. But yeah, I like, in my opinion, they put this together in a way where everything was easily accessible. That's my opinion. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go grab the new harness and I'm gonna start laying it out, and then I'm gonna start figuring out where all these things go to underneath the car, and then yeah, start connecting everything. All right, so here's the big bundle of wire that I just opened out of this package. Okay, so now I got the harness in the car. So what I did is I picked a known spot in the car that I recognize, which is, you know, this part in the middle, right? So that's where that's gonna go. And then I'm just gonna follow all the harnesses where the car goes, disconnect them, connect the new one in, and then do the same thing on the other opposite side. And yeah, that should be the job. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this job. Honestly, if you're you know, you're in this industry to do stuff like this, right? So I find this pretty fun, I guess. I don't know. I think I prefer this over maintenance. The front part of the harness I already routed up to there. But fun fact, your washer hose is part of the harness. So I actually just cut this and then slipped it onto the new part of the harness. And you're probably wondering, hey, why don't you just take it off? But you know, this hose is on the inside, so I didn't want it to pull it off, right? Being the hose at the end that goes over this fitting would be too big and, you know, eventually slip off. So I just cut it so it's a fresh new set of hose going onto the set of fitting. Like it's a, I don't know, what do you call it? It's a fitting, and it's a plastic little thing that keeps the hose from popping off. So I just cut it. I think it goes on to the length of the rest of the car back there. So yeah, but other than that, I gotta go underneath to get this out from underneath. Okay, so we're moving along. We're at the B pillar. Oh no, my snap-on light went out. Okay, hold on, let me get a new battery. So new battery. So we're along the B pillar as I was saying. This one goes into the door harness. Luckily, it has a connector inside, because there's no way they're gonna make a whole harness that goes into the door, and then, you know, if it breaks here, because these doors open like 90 degrees, And you can see when you open it fully, it's already kind of, I feel like this might be a problem in the future, but that's probably in the future. That's future problem. But yeah, so you gotta actually have to remove the seatbelt because the harness goes behind the seatbelt, so you can't, because you know that part is looped around, so you can't really get past it without removing the seatbelt. So that's something you got to do. So we're gonna have to pull this part of the harness out, put the new one, or route the new one in, and then yeah, and then I'll put the seatbelt back on. Okay, so now we're at the C-pillar area. You got to remove the C-pillar because there's one wire that goes all the way up into the curtain airbags. And yeah, so this thing, how you remove the where is that thing? The one clip, right? That says the side curtain airbags. How you get that off without breaking it is I get myself a rubber mallet, and then I put a rag on it, and then I hit it, so that pushes that thing in, and then it'll come right out. So when you want to reinstall it, you gotta reset it to its position. So that's how you do it. But other than that, yeah, so a bunch of wires over there I gotta deal with. Up here, it's gonna go into the curtain airbags. Gotta disconnect that. I might have to drop the headliner a little bit to access it, because it goes behind this bracket. So yeah, good thing the headliner is black. You know, if it was a gray headliner, oh man, I'm gonna have to really clean out that headliner. Oh man. Okay, so that one connector that goes all the way up, you have to remove the grab handles, and then it goes all the way over here. Where is that connector? I really don't want to take the whole headliner off, but I can just see the connector behind this curtain right here. So I am gonna see if I can disconnect it without doing anything to the headliner. Okay, so looks pretty bad on this end, but I'm trying to get that curtain airbag connector up there. So how do you get that connector without being able to see it? This is where different tools come into play. So I got a long trim tool, but I can just get that one clip. Okay, no, I can't see you guys. I can't see that clip with the camera in the way, so I'll put you guys down. Okay, I got it. I just reached in there and I just clipped all of the parts of the harness. I just gotta fish it out from behind the curtain airbag. Right, so we're almost pretty much done on this side. I still got the washer fluid hose that I gotta disconnect. My pinching plier actually came loose, and it started filling up with washer fluid, and I was like, oh crap. So yeah, but other than that, you just got to disconnect the floor harness from the roof harness right here, and then this has to come out. You have to remove the tail light, the tail light here, and then fish it through the hole into the body, and those are your tail light connectors, and that's about it. I'm assuming everything's going to be the same opposite side, minus the extra other modules that go into the body there.
I was replacing it. I thought, yeah, anybody had this.
Yeah. Is it like the dash harness?
4G. The harness is 4G.
Harness is 4G.
Yeah.
$4,000?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then it goes to the rear bumper, to the front bumper, and goes to the hard top too.
Oh really? This harness is only like $800. This whole entire floor harness. Okay. Next door, my neighbor here is telling me his time at BMW, how much a harness for the audio unit, which is the entire car, $4,000 compared to a $800 harness for the Honda. But yeah, just to show you, somebody really definitely undercoated like the hell out of it, because everything's nicely coated. They even removed the bottom cover to just undercoat everything under here. So this is what we're looking at. We got the harness to go to the electronic parking brake ABS assembly here, right? So just got to disconnect it there, and then I think we got the connectors up for the rear diff, and then yeah, I think more harness for the parking sensors in the back. Not too sure. I don't think it goes to all the sensors. I think it just goes to a sub harness for the backup sensors that I just gonna need to disconnect. But yeah, that's what it looks like down here. Yeah, it's got to remove the covering and everything. But yeah, really covered in undercoat. There's the high voltage cable. So quick update, because this side's a little bit different than the other side, because this harness splits and goes through here, because all the safety, SRS stuff for the rear back seats, back in the day, back seats, there's nothing back there, but now you got, occupant detection on the rear seats. They got to add, more safety stuff. So, your Hondas are getting more safe. But yeah, other than that, the harness actually splits. So there's this bunch of wires that go into the back. So I got to figure out where all that stuff goes, right? And then reroute these wires. It goes into a hole, and then there's a hole on the bottom. Hopefully I can just push it through without having to, touch or remove that part of the battery so I can access it. But yeah, we're coming along here soon, and yeah, make sure everything is good. I went underneath, disconnected it. This thing goes to the charcoal canister, and then that back one, it goes into the floor. That one goes to the rear diff. All right, so I'm in the back here. I gotta fish this set of wires through a hole where the grommet is, but I still gotta fish out the old grommet from over there, right? And it just runs along from here and clips into here. I already kind of disconnected all of it, so that's the harness that's behind the bumper here, and I just gotta fish it through that hole behind the bumper. Yeah, so anyways, that's where I'm at right now. All right, finally, harness is all completely done. So that's the rest of the harness in the back on the driver's side. Oh, gotta get it around the seat belt. There we go. Get it all through. And that's it. That's the harness. Oh, it's getting caught. Don't worry, that's not damaged. That's just all the undercoating that I'm getting on myself as I work. I'll clean that up after. But yep, that's the harness that was in the car. All right. All those other things are going to connect to the back seat, so that's nothing's there yet. So now the harness is all done. This is going to take all the editing skills that I have, so bear with me. So I'm going to put everything on this side back together. So, oh, what? My glove's gone. Yeah. I can already tell you I screwed this up already, because I had to put the carpet in first before I put the side panels. So anyways, this side now. And this side's back together. Now I'm going to put back together now is the center console. And center console's back in. All right, now, and everything else. And there you go, everything's all back together. The only thing left is to hook up the battery. Sure, I clean up all my stain. I don't know how the undercoating got on my pants, but it's some thick stuff. It's coming off a little bit at a time. I'm using a microfiber towel, by the way. And it's almost gone. Come on. I'm not putting much pressure on it. A little bit of speck left. Okay, now I'm gonna go over to the driver's side, the little sill this side. It must have gotten on my pants when I took the underbody covering off, and then it got touched onto my pants. It's like tar, man. It's like tar. I'll just keep rubbing it. Slowly but surely it's coming off. I get more cleaner. There you go, that's all gone. Go around the car and see if I've missed anything like this. I don't know how that got there. There, that's gone. Missed a little spot there too. It must have gotten on my clothes somehow. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go around the car and see if I missed anything. Right, let's hook up the negative back on there. Tighten that terminal. And yeah, let's go start her up. All right, time for the first start. So this is where I find out if I forgot to plug in something, but I'm pretty sure I didn't, because everything I disconnected, I reconnected on the new harness, and every ground I took off, I put the new ground back on. So yeah, I don't know. But things can still happen, right? But anyways. Oh, where's my start key? So scan it, got a bunch of codes. I'm just gonna clear them and then see what they are, because I think left front antenna for the smart key, and then the airbag. I gotta see if I can't remember if I plugged that in, and I think that's it. So I'm just gonna clear the code, see if they come back, and then I'm gonna take the center console out again, see if that airbag, because there's no light there, so I think I didn't plug it in. Okay, so I removed the center console. I can already see I forgot a connector down there for the antenna for the smart key system. That's why there's that warning. So, you know, and then I still got to take this part off and then see if that one's connected. So, hey, two connectors out of a whole ton of connectors is not bad. Can I reach in there? Can't see. But where does it connect to? Oh, on top. Okay, that's connected. This just goes onto this top part here. So I gotta put this guy in neutral to shift it. Yeah, and then it should just once you have that, it's just clipped in. Like I said, these are pretty easy to take apart. Everything is just clipped in. Need both hands, hold on. Okay, problem number 2 that I forgot, that connector. So that fixes both codes. Come on, find a hole. Which way does it go into? Oh, it goes that way. It clips in sideways. And right? Yeah, that's the hole. There we go. Click. Okay, that's in. The antenna's back in. Now I can reinstall everything. Click that down. Make sure my harness is not pinched down there. Push that center console down. I'm just gonna go back into park. Plug these wires back in, and we should be all good. Okay, let me bring you back. Oh, scanner crashed on me, so I gotta redo everything. Rescan it, but I can at least turn that back on. There's everything. My airbag light is back on, and every time I push the key or the power button, it doesn't tell me to touch the push button anymore. So now everything is just saying system is initializing. So I'm just gonna do a final clear, and then do an all sensor learn, and that should be it. Yeah, one thing about this job is your thumb gets really sore. Like if you look at my fingernail, it's too bright. my fingernail, you can see that little black part of the tip. It's so bruised from disconnecting all the connectors on that harness. It's sore. It hurts. But yeah, that's the only complaint, I guess. All right, so everything's good. All my warning lights are gone. I forgot what that was. The cruise control indicator that was like crossed out is gone. All my warning lights are gone. I even have my parking sensors are all back. Yeah, I don't know. Then my airbag light, because I didn't connect it back. But yeah, anyways, so I think a couple weeks ago I had a Civic with a 1.5T, and it had a code for boost control solenoid circuit code. So it ended up being an open circuit on the ground side of that solenoid, computer controlled ground, and then it gets constant power all the time. And it was an open circuit in the harness somewhere, but nowhere on the harness is like you don't see anything in the harness that may indicate that you got like a cut or something in the loom, or causing anything. And it was just an open circuit somewhere. But all I did was I ran a wire from the boost control solenoid on the it's a solenoid that controls the vacuum on it, and then back probed that, and then back probed it to the PCM, and then I used the HDS to control that solenoid, and it worked. And that just tells me there's a broken wire somewhere in that harness. So we end up replacing the engine harness for that issue. So yeah, but the engine harness is a lot easier than this floor harness. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I think this video was kind of long, but anyways, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, and if you want, subscribe. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna try and make it not so long. I don't know. This is a long video.